Wow, y'all, we have got a super aggressive hive today. We're trying to knock the numbers down because they're attacking so bad. Everybody that lives around here just run inside. Yeah, it's crazy. I come in here in the air. They're all over us. They're all over my hands. Trying to stink through my gloves. Really big 4-year-old colony according to the property owner, but for some reason this spring they decided to get aggressive. Well, we're on one today. We got what you might call a bit of a situation. Found an aggressive colony. Actually, Bob found it last night, and it was getting too late for him to finish it up, so they've got some of the plywood down, fixing to walk up under there. I actually had to suit up. I had to walk away to finish suiting up because they were attacking me so bad. One of the maintenance men came out to say hello and went and ran back inside, so I'm assuming when he started talking they jumped on his mouth, but you can see them all over the camera on my head. Walk up under here with the camera real quick. Of course, an elevated structure about 8 foot off the ground with a sizable healthy colony. They're stinging my hands while I'm standing here videoing this, so I'm about to go put some gloves on real quick to come back and finish doing what I'm doing. They're really building up for spring, and they are super defensive. I'm having to pick stingers out of my thumbs as I talk to you. So we're gonna right now, first thing we're gonna do is set up a work platform and just start vacuuming bees. We're gonna try to knock the numbers down. That's not gonna take the aggression out of them, but it will take away some of the stingers that are flying around trying to kill us right now.
Yeah, one of the vendors at Hive Life told me a trick. I think his wife puts liquid smoke on her hands and wrists, and they don't get into, you know, that area. Okay. So I put a little bit on my wrist and a little bit right here, like perfume, to see what happens. They're not around me right now.
I've had people suggest that before, and I've never tried it. And of course, I don't have any gloves on them. There's a stinger right there. But they're getting on me a good bit. So this is
all the gear all the time.
This is rare. This is.
Yeah, I saw Randy's suited up already. I'm like, whoa.
This is our. Yeah.
I pull up, Dirt Rooster suited up. I mean, man.
Yeah, when you pull up and I'm suiting up and I ain't even started yet, it's time to suit up.
It smells like banana Laffy Taffy. But it does. It's that artificial banana.
Yeah.
And she might smell the blue bastards and smell it.
Yo, Tony, here's one of your Hive Life vacs running.
5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, sucking up some mean bees.
How often do you turn your vac down to free for dinner?
If I'm working, I keep it running a pretty good bit. The biggest thing is not letting them get overheated. And under here, they're gonna be fine. But man, these things are attacking.
Yeah, look, you're just standing there.
Just in number. Like, I don't know if y'all can see this on video. The bees are kind of covering me and Bob up. This is really unusual for our area. We don't have. This is not africanized genetics, and we don't have africanized bees here. So this is probably one of the more aggressive colonies I've run into in many years. So right now, we're just going to try to knock the numbers down a little bit, or a lot rather. Yeah. You got a smoker?
Yeah, I'll go light it.
smoke smelling McDonald's napkins. I'm gonna show you why you gotta set your saw depth. The water line right there. I set my saw depth before I made that cut. You always gotta be careful of that. You don't know where the water or the power is gonna run. Sometimes they'll run it right close to the bottom of these joists. And you really get yourself in a situation to bust a water line on an apartment complex. Yeah, is that the end of it or that? That's gonna be the end of it right there. I don't think they're gonna go past that main center joist. That's a big hive. If this was Langstroth supers, that would be 2 full 10 frame deeps and a little bit more after what we've cut out.
We're even going up between this column and the board right there. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's solid wood back there. So they're just propylized. They're just running for places to hide.
Yeah.
We'll see what they've got propylized. It looks like they've propylized everything adjoining the next compartment. Down here, it looks like it anyway.
They even propylized all that.
Yeah. Sealed it up.
They have plenty of room.
Good amount of honey up in this one. And when I say a good amount, I mean a tasteable and shareable amount. I don't mean like gallons and gallons. Because once we get into this, we're in, what's this, February 21st?
Yes, Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras, Fat Tuesday. February 21st. I tried to get them to hold off till tomorrow because I want to go to a Mardi Gras parade, but they said, nah, it's got to be done now. So here we are, instead of Mardi Gras-ing it up, instead of throwing beads and moon pies,
Throwing some bees.
we're throwing bees and they're giving us moon pies. Yeah, it's a good strong colony. Thank God we have knocked the numbers down a lot. If you can tell by what's in the air, it's nowhere near what it was, and they're not as flying as erratically as before.
Not as loud either.
Not as loud, yeah. And they've settled down quite a bit. They're not attacking my hands like they were. I mean, they were all over my hands. So there's a couple of tricks to calming really, really aggressive bees down when you're going in to do a cutout like this. One is to knock the numbers down as fast as you can. And the other is to start cutting combs quickly. You start damaging the hive and changing the configuration of the hive, and it changes their attitude for some reason. So I don't know if I got it on video, but before I cut this board down, I went in with my I call it Jack. It's my reaching tool, Jack the Reacher, and I chopped out 2 combs off the end here. And so that puts them busy working on repairs and figuring out what's going on with the end of the hive. It just gives them something else to do besides attack us. There's stingers all over this camera. Oh, here's Jack Reacher if I didn't get a good picture of him. Jack Reacher is a previous year's barbecue spatula that the handle broke off of. And it has been taped to an extension pole for probably 3 or 4 years now in the back of my truck.
Patent pending.
Yeah.
You gotta say that so nobody gets
Patent pending, duct tape, barbecue spatula, and painter extension pole.
Don't root for Reacher.
Yeah, look how they're really calming down a whole lot. I mean, there's just a major difference here because of the numbers we've knocked down. They're not really coming after our faces too much anymore.
None on my wrist.
None on your wrist.
If the smoke may be working, I mean.
There's a few on your face, but not bad. You got stung in the face like 5 times last night,
5 times on my nose, a couple times up here, one here, one here, one here. Several times on my arm.
Is that before? That's before you put a suit on, or
after?
After you
through
put
the jacket, they went through my sleeve.
Jeez.
Wear your protective gear, but just know that it might not work.
I want to say, humble bee, you better step it up because they hadn't gotten through my Guardian jacket yet. But now I am noticing that this is a 3-layer suit, not a 2-layer suit, so that may be some of the difference.
Maybe. I got over 25 stings last night.
Oh my goodness!
I stopped counting after 25.
That's going to be super unusual. Nothing against the humble suit because lighter is better, lighter is cooler, and you're not usually going to be working with bees with this temperament.
But the ones, when I was looking up, they get right there on my nose.
Yeah.
5 on my nose.
But you saw how they were on me a while ago. I haven't gotten stung through this suit at all. The only place they've gotten me is through these nitrile gloves that I'm wearing. They like to sting the thumb straps, and these 5 mil nitrile gloves, even 14 mil nitrile gloves they'll go through, but when they sting the thumb straps, it goes through the strap and the glove. So if I had been wearing beekeeping gloves, I do have some Guardian gloves, but they're buried in my truck somewhere, so just throw on some nitrile gloves. I've probably been stung 30 times in the hands so far. Normally they don't sting through nitrile gloves, not because they can't, but just for some reason they don't like the material. What's the other gloves that people are allergic to? Latex. For some reason they sting through latex a lot faster than they do through nitrile, so I use these quite a bit. Man, this camera is just building up the stingers. Look at the stingers around the lens.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm wearing my wife's different gloves or because I've got the liquid smoke on my wrist. I can't tell. If I was wearing my old gloves, I'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
I know, I'd have a control. This is better than last night already.
Yeah, no doubt. No stings today for you yet, huh?
From these bees, yes. From here, no. When I picked up the canister from the vacuum out of our bee yard after I dumped them last night, I went and got it, and a couple bees were still in it, and they remembered me. And one got me right on the head.
Man.
Then I decided to put my veil on.
Got a Christmas card for you. Bing!
Yeah, these are completely different temperament now. You see nursery because they're just kind of hanging on,
A lot of them are. We've got a lot of the foragers trying to come back and they really don't know where to go. Big Colony sends out a lot of foragers, so all these, not all, but a lot of these floating in the air are foragers coming back, and since we've disturbed the colony and disturbed their entrance, they're trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm seeing a lot of them land here and go back up where the entrance was.
Yeah, that's...
So see them right there?
Is that where the main entrance was?
The entrance is like right here, across here.
Okay.
Far across right here.
Yeah, so that's where, if we backed off for a second, I'll tell you what, come down for a minute.
Let's give them some time.
Give them some time to cluster up. And when Bob comes down, there'll probably be a lot of them pile up right there on that spot they used to go in. And there's a lot of fanners. They're fanning, saying, hey, it's still home. This is still where we're at.
They're all in.
Yeah. So they're not coming in much back here. Just coming in up on the post.
Would you say that's robbing if they come in right where
a lot of times, but sometimes if you're in them long enough, if you're doing a cutout long enough, they'll figure out, they'll just come in anywhere.
But you can see where they used to land, that dark strip.
They've got some of this comb either collapsed or got messed up last night somehow.
You can see where they use the landing strips. See, it's dark.
Yeah.
Darker section. You can see where you can see some pollen working good.
Yeah. It's kind of worn the paint off of it.
Stuck a sticker on it. I told Pete I was going to give him a sticker to give to you to stick on your stuff. Since you're going to do that to others. I got to send a honey label into Mr. Ed. He's asking for honey labels.
Send it.
You can't see.
Yeah, but you can feel it. It's pretty heavy. We can swap buckets and you can take my bucket with you too if you want to.
Okay, like so we're right down the road down here, so.
Yeah. Well, you won't be able to dump them until night.
Oh yeah. Let me see. Can't even see. Yeah, there's so many. See, there's so many up here. Against. I think this thing's full. What do you think?
Yeah, we can swap buckets. Be safe. Better safe than sorry. Alright, now we're getting the first of the larger honeycombs. It's kind of built funny, so I'm about to split it, so we're about to have some drippage. So we'll pass this out, Bob.
Tastes good.
Yeah. You're cheating, man. I can't taste it. There you go.
It's all over my fingers.
Yep.
I'm trying to couple. One of them we got. Man.
Alright, here's a nice good chunk. Just flick the bees off of it like that. Man, this is some good looking honey. This next comb, look at that next comb. We're getting deep into some honey now. That's gonna be a heavy piece right there. Probably gonna have to split it in half to get it out the way it's built right there.
Yeah.
So we'll cut that one in half. We're gonna have even more drippage. So right now the goal is don't drip on the vac motor. It's wet right there because I just washed my hands and grabbed it. We've got some.
Move it over this way a little bit.
Yeah, we can. These vac motors are great, but they're not designed to hold honey.
I wonder why.
Or be wet. Giant steaks. Those are steak, they go right on the grill.
Honey steak.
Yeah. Well, we've been working them for a little while now, and then we let them rest, or we took a rest rather, for about 20 minutes. Let them gather back up, let some of the foragers come in. They're working on repairs and just back to life as usual. But they're still somewhat aggressive, not near what they were when we first got here. I mean, they've really calmed down a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't been stung in probably half an hour now, which is saying something. You got the good gloves. You got the good gloves on. The only place I've been stung is in my thumbs, where they've stung these thumb straps and gone through the nitrile gloves. And I got stung in the back of the knee one time, and I'm wearing some jeans. Wearing my skinny jeans. Not really, you know, I don't wear no skinny jeans. We're getting into drone brood now. Lots of drone brood build up. No queen cells that we've seen yet, but February 21st. Still not a lot of adult drones. There are a few, but not a lot. But in another week, there will be a bunch. And then there'll be queen cells starting to pop.
That hole to the comb is made for drone.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have the camera running when we caught her, but there's the queen. And we're starting to run into some more drones, but still not a lot. We're fully into brood combs. There's your queen, man.
Got her. Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus. We're gonna set her on top of the box. So we're on vac number 2. This vac right here is pretty much full. Set her there so she's at least got company. And we'll leave her on her side. So if any attendants want to get into her, they can. Here's what kind of brood pattern we got right now. We've seen one hive beetle. Actually, I haven't seen any. Bob saw one hive beetle. Doing a mite shake. Took a bunch of nurse bees off the combs and whatever else was crawling. I don't like doing this until we've got the queen. We've got the queen in the cage, resting in the top of the vac with a few attendants on her. That's vac number 1. This is vac number 2. And we're doing an alcohol wash to do a mite load test. I suspect it's going to be low, and I mean low. Really healthy colony, pretty defensive. Generally those don't have a heck of a lot of mites on them anyway. We'll know in a minute.
Bee bread, nice, green, yellow, gold, nice.
Got some drones emerging. We're back into another drone heavy comb right here right now. This sure is pretty.
Yeah, took a few bees home with us. A lot of drones. I'm going to show it the bee bread. See that? From this side over here. Some here. Watch this. Where was it? Right there. How pretty that is.
Alright, I have shaken this for approximately 3 to 4 minutes. I let it sit with the bees inside the liquid upside down for probably 30 minutes, and I shook it again. That's all trash in the bottom, little pollen flakes. So far, let me take my hood off.
Gotta go 200 feet away.
I gotta get out here to take my hood off because they're still kind of irritable. But I want to get a good look just so I can say I looked at it with my bare eyes. That's trash you see floating in there. These are not Varroa. There's one mite in that shake. 2. So 2 mites on that colony. That was a pretty good sample too, but 2 mites. The rest of that's trash, pollen flakes, dirt, whatever. 2 mites. It's pretty good. Low mite load. That sample was at least 300 bees, at least. I swept a lot in there because we had a lot to spare, and I wanted to get a really good sample. But dude, these feral colonies down here kick it. They don't seem to need any help with the mite issue, and so consequently, and a lot of what I see in feral colonies forms my opinions on bees and beekeeping, and it forms the way that I deal with treatment issues, and I'm fairly well treatment free. I can't say everybody could do that. I'm talking about my area. I tested my area. Within an hour of me, I'm fine with anybody being treatment free, and I know a lot of other people that are a good distance from me that are treatment free, and so I don't know that you can't be treatment free everywhere, but I assume that you can't, because there's a lot of big beekeepers with a lot of money on the line that are not treatment free, and it's for a reason. I get those sort of results all year long, not just in the springtime when they're building up, but springtime's a good time to test. They haven't been treated, they've gone through the winter like this. It is what it is. Hate to break your heart if you're a big gotta treat kind of guy, but yeah. As the sun sets, we're pretty well done. All we gotta do is go to the bee yard and set them up. We're setting them up in, are we setting a long hive?
Not sure. Well, I guess no, we're doing our regular hive.
Okay, they're going in Langstroth. Bees are in 2 vac buckets. Complete removal. Nothing in this section. They didn't cross over to the other side of that frame board, so we're all good. And a good amount of bees in there.
Yeah, 2 of them.
2 bags full. Look at them, they're gonna come after my head now. So they remain defensive until the end. There's only a few hundred bees left flying. And as the sun dips, we'll vacuum the rest of them and be gone, my friend. Jane, would you?
Yep.
Literally, we're dumping. We're introducing bees to a box, and we're getting our hands eat up. Spray, 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 bud. You can throw all that in the bottom there. Spray. Where's that bottle of water? Where's that bottle of water?
It's right here. Spray.
All right. Spray, spray, spray.
Hey, ready?
Ready?
Yeah. A lot of bees.
Box on. This was an unusually large colony that we pulled, so we're going to do 2 boxes on for them to work.
And the camera just went off.
No, it's on
Okay.
battery saver mode.
Okay. Here's the
You
stuff.
got your stuff.
Yeah. 4 here.
Yep.
Okay.
Stuff that so we
Put
can't
some
get
more
out.
Okay. That entrance is stuffed. Lid. You want
Put the lid
microphone?
on crooked. The bottom's closed.
Good deal. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, let me turn the light on and show. So up top, Bob and Jane had a double screen on hand, and so we double screened the top. These have entrances on front and back. We closed off that back entrance, left the lid cocked sideways for ventilation. You saw how many bees were. Here you go. Here you go. You saw how many bees were in there. So we 2 deep supers with frames in them, and then that bottom one is empty just for a dump box. And that's how we're going to let them rest for 2 days. Weather's not super hot right now. They are in full sun, but it's only what projected to be in the 50s or 60s, maybe. I don't know.
The high will be 75 this week.
Probably 75. So
Yeah. But we got the bottom board open to be a screen.
yeah, the bottom board's vented. The top is completely vented, and they have plenty of frames. They got 20 frames to spread out on. So we've given them almost as much space as we cut them off of, and so we should be good to go. 48-hour lockdown, and then turn them loose and let them work.
These are just stragglers. They're gonna die.
Oh, they'll hang out on the outside of the box. Must be an upgrade I didn't get.
What do we do about these bees here? Leave this sit here.
Tony, I need an upgrade, man. I got a single screen.
You got a double screen. What do we do about these bees?
Take them home. Just leave them in the back of your truck. or lay them next to a hive in your yard or whatever.
Okay. You get the motor, which is over here.
Motor's over there.